Meeting of September 18th, 2023 to order. Welcome, and if you would please stand with us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sandy, could we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Shippers.
Here.
Allenboss.
Present.
Ingalls.
Here.
King.
Yes.
Mayor Folkins.
Here. Okay, at this time, if we could have a motion to approve the agenda, it's been amended, so to add an appointment.
Yes, thank you. Just going to mention to add an appointment to our DDA.
Yep, got
I'll
it.
make a motion to approve the agenda as amended to add an appointment to the DDA under appointments item Roman numeral 5-B.
I'll second.
Councilmember Allenboss.
Yes.
Ingalls.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Shippers.
Yes.
Mayor Folkins.
Yes, motion carries. This time, we'll open the floor for our first public comment this evening. We do ask if you come forward, if you would please state your name and then write your name and address for the clerk. That would be greatly appreciated, and if you could keep your comments to 3 minutes or less.
Oh, hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Osowski, and I just wanted to come up here to introduce me and my husband, who's not here because he's always working, as the new owners of the Mancino building. I'm sure you've all seen what we're trying to do there. We're definitely trying to clean it up and make everything better and safer. As we've moved in, we found out that there's a lot of safety issues around there. There's people doing drugs back there, and it kind of sounds like the previous owners let it happen. So we're trying to clean everything up. I know that we've done a couple things that apparently broke zoning rules, but we're gonna fix it. I didn't do it on purpose. Everybody comes in that first driveway and rushes over to Java or over to Granite Street, and we're trying to slow it down because there's been several times that we've been in the parking lot working and we're almost getting hit, and we don't want our customers worried about the parking there. We want to do a lot there. Right now we're just trying to get it cleaned up, and I just wanted to say, the police has been really good with us. I know they sit there sometimes because of the weird traffic, and just there's a lot of bike people, and it's a really kind of sketchy part of the neighborhood there. So we're trying to make it a better, safer place. We're not trying to break any rules. I know we kind of did, but we will amend that. And yeah, I just wanted to say that it's going to be better. We're working on painting this week. I know we cleaned out the front. Next year we'll put a new garden in. I know that's a buffer zone that we have to have one there, but with it coming in the fall, I'll definitely clean that up. My mom's a master gardener, so she'll help us with that project. And yeah, I just wanted to say that we're here. We're trying to make it better. It'll be a really cool place. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, seeing no one else, we'll close public comment and move to the approval of the consent agenda. And this evening, we do have the minutes from the regularly scheduled meeting on September 5th, along with the minutes from the closed session, also held on September 5th.
And I do have, reviewing the minutes, I do have a possible point of clarification. In relation to the motion I made at the last meeting, it's absolutely correct on page 4. My motion that updating TS1, TS2, B1, and B2, and how that would handle short-term rentals. And I had the second part of it, we aren't looking for an option that would change the nature of R1 or R2 or the other designations. I was asked on page 6, because there was discussion, rather than moving through it, the motion initially, that part of the motion was on the table when it was seconded by Councilmember Ellenboss and unanimously voted in. If you look in the paragraph above that, I have King state, or it says King stated the motion he has on the table, referring to the original motion. So I wanted clarification. It was my belief that the motion still had my portion on it that said we're not looking to change the nature of R1 and R2, meaning that it would allow any short-term rentals because those are not allowed now. That doesn't direct what the planning commission has to do when it finally goes in front, but it makes clear, and that's why I was doing it with the people that were here in R1, R2, that we're not looking to change the nature of their property where it's not allowed. So that's the clarification, is I think that my motion that was on the table was the one that's on page 4, and I wanted to see if that was everyone else's understanding.
How is it different?
It just leaves out that we're not looking to change the nature of the R1, R2.
What do you mean by nature?
R1,
Well, I
R2,
know what they are, but
Yeah.
what do you mean by changing the nature?
that we would not allow short-term rentals in R1 or R2.
But isn't that the other part that I voted for?
I would say yes, I agree with
Was it
you.
in that?
Yes, because that's my opinion, is because I said it's the motion on the table, I'm making that clarification. And if that's what you believe, Councilmember Shippers, and if,
Well, I'm not sure, because,
Okay.
hold on, let me check this out.
So can I just, procedurally, can I just make one comment? And that is, right now you're on consent agenda. So what I would recommend is that you remove these minutes from the consent agenda and then approve the consent agenda for the other closed session minutes and then discuss the revisions or corrections to the minutes.
Fantastic.
All right, so then we'll have to have a motion to remove these minutes for further discussion, and then we're voting on the approval of the closed session.
Okay, I make a motion that we remove the minutes for the regular meeting from the consent agenda.
Support.
Councilmember Ingalls?
Yes.
King?
yes.
Shippers?
Yes.
Allenboss?
Yes.
Mayor Folkins?
Yes, motion carries.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as amended.
Support.
Councilmember King?
Yes.
Shippers?
Yes.
Allenboss?
Yes.
Ingalls?
Yes.
Mayor Folkins?
Yes, motion carries.
Next on the agenda.
Get those down to Marcus, please.
So are we, council's now going to?
Yes, and I guess Mike, from a procedure standpoint, how would that work?
So, I went back and I looked at the motion. I agree with Councilmember King that when the second reference to the motion, he was referring to the first. The only issue is this: when at about I can't remember the time, I think it was at 1:14 of the meeting. He restates the motion, and he restated the motion without that last part, the nature of R1, R2. I think he was referring to the motion that was previously made, but then stated what his motion was at that time. So if you go back and look at the meeting, he makes a motion. That motion was not supported at the time. There was a discussion about it, a full-length discussion, and then Councilmember King restates his motion but leaves out the last part of it, the change the nature of R1, R2, or the other designations. So really, what the issue is did the city council believe that they were voting on the motion with that included or without that included? And to the extent that it believed that it was passing that motion with that included, it can make that change to the minutes to so indicate that. But if the council, I suppose, thought that it was voting on what I'll call a slimmed down motion without that last part, then it can decide that as well.
Okay. Now, Does that extra sentence change the policy at all? Because I think like I said, without usurping the duty of our planning commission, where we directed them to deal with the current zoning before we.
Which R1 and R2 would not allow short-term rentals, and therefore the nature of R1, R2 would not be affected.
And may I actually might be able to help.
And that is what it is. That is the current zoning right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm saying I thought it was important to do the clarification.
And I think, and forgive me, Councilmember King and everybody on city council, but a light bulb in my head just kind of went off. If what your intention was when you made the motion was to have the city council essentially set the marching orders to try to codify what the current practice is regarding short-term rentals, then I would say that I think it all makes sense, because that piece to it just actually reaffirms that we're only focusing on TS1, TS2, B1, and B2 for codification purposes as of what are we doing today. It does not, as Councilmember King mentioned, actually won't and can't tell the Planning Commission what they should be looking at doing tomorrow necessarily, but it asks them to reaffirm, here's what it is as of today. Is that a fair
Well, and
analysis?
I think based on the discussion that we had in our previous meeting, I think we were all in agreement that R1 and R2, we want it left alone. So I don't have an issue with this.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think
So my request would be that the minutes just be amended to reflect that the final motion had that last sentence
which would
in it.
really just be reconciling this part
Yes.
of the minutes with that
Mhm.
second.
Exactly.
Because it was stated appropriate, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
I-
it just
I
has
don't
to
think
do
I
with
have.
the adding the B1 or R1 and R2.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we discussed. That was definitely
Yep.
part of it, so, yeah. So why don't you make that?
I'll make a motion that the minutes be amended as previously stated to add the last sentence, which is on page 4 from my original motion.
Which is the sentence that says we aren't looking for an option that would change the nature of R1, R2, and other designations.
Yes,
I'll second that.
Perfect.
thank you.
Councilmember Shippers,
Yes.
Allenboss,
Yes.
Ingalls,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Mayor Folkins.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
Okay, so that then will take us to several communications that we have for this evening. Sandy?
Yes, it's being recommended to approve the parade route for the homecoming parade on October 6, 2023.
I'd make a motion to approve the parade route for homecoming parade on October 6, 2023.
Support?
Councilmember Allenboss,
Yes.
Ingalls,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Shippers,
Yes.
Mayor Folkins.
Yes, motion carries.
It's being recommended to approve the display of a banner from October 9th to the 16th, 2023 for the Mitchell Street Market Day.
I'll make a motion to approve the display of a banner from October 9th through 16th, 2023 for the Mitchell Street Market Day.
I'll second that.
Councilmember Ingalls,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Shippers,
Yes.
Allenboss,
Yes.
Mayor Folkins.
Yes, motion carries.
It's being recommended to approve the display of a banner from October 16th to the 30th, 2023 for Friends of the Library.
I'd make a motion to approve the display of a banner from October 16th to the 30th, 2023 for Friends of the Library.
Support.
Councilmember King,
Yes.
Shippers,
Yes.
Allenboss,
Yes.
Ingalls,
Yes.
Mayor Folkins.
Yes, motion carries.
It's being recommended to approve the request from Oasis Family Resource Center to hang purple lights on light poles in the core downtown area during the month of October for Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Before we vote on this, Sarah from Oasis is here. Would you like to stand up and say anything? I know this is something new for this year, isn't it? We haven't seen this before?
Yes, it is new.
Okay,
I put my name on here.
please.
So I'm Sarah Shields. I'm here on behalf of Oasis Family Resource Center. If you're not familiar, we are a nonprofit here in Cadillac that provides services to survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault, including emergency temporary housing, transitional housing, counseling, advocacy, and also financial resources to survivors who are fleeing abusive relationship. Safety is a really big priority for us. Excuse me. And we want to make sure that the families who are in abusive situations have the resources they need to flee unsafe, to flee. Domestic violence affects a lot of people living in our community. It's the most common form of violence against women. It affects 1 in 4 women during their lifetime, but it's very underreported because people are afraid, ashamed, or unaware of the resources that are available to help them. So October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we are really eager to raise awareness about the resources that are available here in the community. And so we're reaching out to businesses downtown and asking them to support and participate and to hang purple lights in their storefront windows throughout the downtown area during the month of October. But we're also requesting that the city supports us and lets us hang those lights around town. And we really just want to create a visually impactful statement and let survivors know that they're not alone, that the community supports them, and that there's help available.
Thank you. Okay,
I'll make a motion. Is that okay?
yes.
To approve the request from Oasis Family Resource Center to hang purple lights on light poles in the core downtown area during the month of October for Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Shippers,
Yes.
Ellenboss?
Yes.
Ingalls?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Mayor Folkins?
Yes, motion carries. All right, and we have a couple of appointments.
Being recommended to approve the appointment of Aaron Fecity to the Downtown Development Authority for a 4-year term to expire on September 18th, 2027.
I'd make a motion to approve the appointment of Aaron Fecity to the Downtown Development Authority for a 4-year term to expire on September 18th, 2027.
Support.
Councilmember Ellenboss?
Yes.
Ingalls?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Shippers?
Yes.
Mayor Folkins?
Yes, motion carries.
This was the item that was added. It's being recommended to approve the appointment of Teresa Arn to the Downtown Development Authority for a 4-year term to expire on September 18th, 2027.
I'll make a motion to appoint Teresa Arn to a 4-year term on the Downtown Development Authority, which will expire on September 18th, 2027.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Ingalls?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Shippers?
Yes.
Ellenboss?
Yes.
Mayor Folkins?
Yes, motion carries. Takes us to the city manager's report. We have several things.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. Just a few items tonight. The first one is with regard to an early voting agreement we're asking City Council to consider allowing us to enter into with Wexford County. In short, as the Council communication states, following the passage of Proposal 2022-2, we're required to have at least one early voting site for all statewide and federal elections. One of the options is to actually partner with the county on this, and I believe at this point the vast majority of local units of government are doing so, that being partnering with Wexford County. The facility that they're looking at utilizing for accommodating this activity is the Lake Street County building that's, as you know, frankly, as a crow flies, about a block due north of where we're currently sitting tonight. The request is to allow the city clerk to execute the agreement following the review from Foster Swift's office.
What does our city clerk think of this?
What do you think?
Sandy, you're for it?
Yes,
Yes.
we had a meeting. There's out of the 18 jurisdictions in the county, 16 are partnering with the county, and the 2 are not.
Well, if
It
you're
makes
happy,
perfect
I'm
sense to centralize it.
It sure does.
happy. Yep, very good. Yeah, I make a motion to authorize the city clerk to execute an agreement with Wexford County to conduct early voting, subject to legal review by the city attorney.
Support.
Councilmember King,
Yes.
Shippers,
Yes.
Alabas,
Yes.
Ingalls.
Yes.
Mayor Folkins.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. The next item under the report is reporting out of an emergency purchase that we had to do in order to get a screw pump replaced without any hesitation over at the wastewater treatment plant. The total cost of the emergency repair was $9,055. And as the communication indicates, we were down to one screw pump functioning, which is why we didn't have time to delay. And so if there's any questions about what the pump does or any issues, we have our utilities director here that can get into the weeds on
I
that.
don't think it's weeds.
I think-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting into.
Right. Yeah, it's not weeds, but I was trying to think of the right word to say. So.
How long has that screw pump been there?
That one was replaced probably in 2008, and the bearing just wore out.
Okay.
So
Pretty
we've
common?
we've had them replaced various times, and we were actually replacing the north one when one of the other ones that had recently in 2008 been replaced, the lower bearing went. So
Okay, very good.
Kind of humming right along here, the last item under the manager's report this evening is another utilities-related item, this one on the other side of the aisle, regarding a water well pump replacement, well number 8. Back in July of this year, we did bid out and move forward with Northern Pump and Well with a contract to replace pumps. And as things, or as luck may have had it, it looks like one of the 6-stage pumps that we have in well number 8 essentially needs to also be replaced. And so the request this evening is to increase the contractual amount that we already have with the company that we selected through a bidding process just a couple of months ago by $14,724. Even with that increase, that still keeps them as the lowest competitive bidder within the bids that we had received. So.
if I may, Marcus,
Yep.
you said we bid it out to replace pumps or what?
Yeah,
It was for preventative maintenance,
Okay.
just to pull them and inspect them. During the inspection, we noticed that the pump on number 8,
Gotcha.
it could be repaired or replaced, and the difference is about $2,000 between the repair and the replace. So we recommend,
Right.
with the warranty and that, to just replace it. But that was why we pulled it, or why they were here, was to do the preventative maintenance and just inspect. And we didn't expect to find something this drastic, but
This is the new well field?
2012 new well field, yes. Not the current new well field.
Yeah, not-
Fairly new. Okay, okay. Very good.
I'll make a motion to increase the original award to Northern Pump and Well by $14,274.
$724.
Yes, by $14,724. I get a little bit of mixed lips here tonight. To include the purchase and installation of a new 6-stage pump, which will increase the award amount from $56,320 to $71,044.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Alabas,
Yes.
Ingalls,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Shippers.
Yes.
Mayor Folkins.
Yes, motion carries. And having all that business taken care of, that brings us to our last public comment for this evening.
Mark Lagerway, not to express an opinion, but gratitude. We had our White Pine Ride, our 5th annual downtown at the market and the trailhead. And I just am so thankful for what this city has done with its downtown. And just wanted to let you know that that was a great success because of that. The trailhead is amazing. The city did a great job putting our sign up for us. If I had only one suggestion, I'd say I'd like to see the striping painted more frequently. for the bikers and walkers. But
The green paint, Mark?
the green is holding up really well, Brian.
What
Yeah.
paint is that?
I think just the white striping that
Okay.
is really wears out. It's like every year almost. It's gone.
Maybe we should
Going around the
switch it-
lakes
Switch
too.
it to the green.
Yeah, exactly. The green's a really good thing. Yep. I could tell more stories about that, but that's all for today. Thank you.
Okay, seeing no one else, we'll close public comment and move to the good of the order, if anyone has anything this evening.
I have one thing. The Cadillac Mayor's Youth Council will meet this Wednesday in these chambers at 3 p.m. And we are looking for, with the new school year, to recruit new members to the Youth Council. If you know of young people or are a young person of high school age, applications are both on the website and available here at the municipal complex. So please join us and join a good group of young people that are working to keep our community awesome, like they are.
Quiet here.
Okay,
I will, as we venture into the process for zoning, one of the questions, Marcus, I've gotten is what's required for redevelopment ready? And I thought as we're going into this, that's something we're gonna need to know, the planning commission's gonna need to know. It'd be nice to put the requirements on for the public to look at. So I wanted to see is there basically a summary sheet of what's required for that, and can we put it on our website?
I will look.
Yeah,
I was just reading through some of that material earlier today. I didn't find anything that was really concise enough to be a useful tool for us to explain it to the public. That'd be nice to keep looking for.
We, if I can jump in for a second, so there's a specific Michigan State liaison through that program that we work with. It's possible that he may have something. So we'll
Thank
reach
you for
out.
looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll ask.
that's in layman's terms that anybody can understand, would be preference,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So,
Well, that's the whole background foundation between, us here in the wall as to why we're even in this program. Is
Yes.
to try to simplify and make things more user-friendly to anybody.
sure. Great, thank you. Okay, well, I don't have anything, so we'll go ahead and adjourn for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks. See you later.